Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Giggle with Gaghouse in partnership with Gaghouse Comedy Clubs and Guildford Fringe. Now, we've done this obviously because there's horrible stuff that's going on in the world right now. We all felt like we could do with a bit of a laugh, and quite frankly, me and Charlotte are bored shitless already, sitting in our office doing no work. So we thought we'd do this and see how it goes. We've already got loads of people listening in, so please do click the share button, get as many people watching this live stream on Instagram and Facebook as possible. Now, this whole thing is completely free. If you feel that you can donate, we would really appreciate that, and there will be links posted during or after these videos, a link to our PayPal account. If you want to just jump on PayPal and search for info@guildfordfringe.com, that will show our account. You can pay via PayPal. If you don't have a PayPal account, private message us and we'll get back to you later with other ways you can donate. All the money, so you know, gets split evenly between the act, the wonderful Danny Buckler, the producers, which is Gaghouse Comedy Clubs and Guildford Fringe, and our wonderful technician Chris Towndrow from London Corporate Media. So all the money goes directly back into the arts at this time when we are literally earning nothing. So there's no pressure at all, but if you are continuing earning in your own jobs and you can spare a few quid, we would really, really appreciate that. Let's go back onto the comedy anyway. So we are here for Giggle with Gaghouse, our first ever one. We're going to do these weekly, we hope, as long as we're allowed. Our first ever one, we wanted to kick off with one of our all-time favourite acts. He's a local lad and he's been with us since we set up the company back in 2012. He is wonderful. Please appreciate how hard this gig is. He's playing to me, Charlotte and Chris, and a load of chairs and cameras. So any comments you can chuck on, we'd really appreciate it. But give him all the love via the internet vibes. Please put your internet hands together for Danny Buckler!
Good evening. This is the biggest crowd I've ever had for a solo show. That's the thing. That's the truth. Good evening. This is weird doing this. Let me tell you. I mean, I'm looking at nothing but like a camera, and there's no people or nothing. It's like there's this old joke about like if the audience doesn't show up, I'll be doing the jokes to myself. Well, guess what this is? This is my worst nightmare come to life for your entertainment on the Google web. I've actually played to less people than this, so it's fine. It's very bizarre walking down the Guildford High Street. I'm not enjoying it. It's obviously no one's enjoying it. Everyone's saying that they're enjoying it. It's sort of fun, isn't it? Like the Spirit of the Blitz. It bloody well isn't. I remember the Spirit of the Blitz. My closest association to the Spirit of the Blitz is watching George Formby films with my old man singing songs on his ukulele about like, isn't it a laugh and let's have fun in the water. I can't recall him singing anything about knocking out an old lady for a line of toilet roll. But anyway, it's nice to be here. I'm just going to do my actors known and we'll see what happens. It's so weird because I'm in a pub. You can't see it. All you're seeing is this, obviously. We're actually in a deserted pub and part of me is looking at the lineup of bottles and thinking, if we get locked down tonight and I'm stuck here, I'm fine. You know, I mean, as a man that doesn't drink, in fact, I'll find ways though. I'll find my way back from the dark side. We're in Guildford as well. We're in the Keep pub. That's not a secret, is it?
No.
I'm going to say, like, this is a secret broadcast. Like Lord Ha-Ha coming to you in the war, like, make your way to the Keep pub. We have soup. Keep going south. It's not a secret, but the thing, it's a lovely pub, but like it's weird seeing it empty. It feels like we're doing Ghost Watch. Like we're here waiting for a spirit of some description to show up. I'm going to find my feet in a minute. God, this is a weird feeling. It doesn't seem right to just come out here and say, here's a story about pulling in pubs. Though I will be doing that later.
Yes, that one.
I'll be doing that one. Don't worry about that. I'll be doing that later. We're just getting warmed up. I've got no idea how many people are watching this. There's another old joke a lot of compares do about like, this feels like comedy's been made illegal. But it really does. In fact, we're broadcasting to the underground. How are you out there? Do you know what I mean? That's another thing that's gone, isn't it, for comedians coming on stage and going, are you well? I mean, that's never going to happen again. But it's nice to see you. Assuming comedy survives this, and it will. In show business, comedy is the cockroach. So comedy will survive. Even if it's just me performing for rats. That was my first worry. I was sat at home when all the announcements kicked off, thinking, everyone else is thinking, well, how am I going to feed my kids? What about toilet roll? My first thought, how can I carry on being fabulous? You know, who's gonna come and laugh at me funny stories? Nick's heard them all. So hundreds of times. This is like, you know, for him this is like grim death. I'm staring at the three lights as well, like Picard at the end of Chain of Command. Oh, it's a surreal feeling. I'm just going to barrel through and tell you a couple of stories and things and do some bits of business and we'll see where it goes. What say you, my friends? It's also put a right dampener this on my pulling, which was non-existent anyway. I have no love life to speak of at the moment, which is, and I was finding it quite, I was getting lonely, ladies and gentlemen. Not as lonely as I'm going to be for the next 2.5 months. But lonely nonetheless, I was thinking, I'm ready for a girlfriend, but I've reached that bizarre age where it's quite tricky to do it, Like, I can't go out pulling anymore, I'm too old. I'm stopped. I feel like Doctor Who when he's about to change. Do you know what I mean? He's not old, but he's not young, but he's started to glow, and the music's kicked in, and he's staggering around the TARDIS, thinking, I'm about to change. Who am I going to be? Please God, Robert Carlyle or Michael Sheen. And then, oh shit, it's her off Broadchurch. But I'm still young enough that I can go into a nightclub. But if I do anything once I'm inside, I'm creepy. I have to sort of stand in the corner and watch while the young people are doing it and looking back at me with that sense of like, oh, I see someone's brought their uncle for the lift home. There you go. Couldn't afford the Uber. Clubbing, there's a thing. When this gig gets dusted off and out of the devastation in a few months' time, and then the people of the future clubbing, what was that? When they're trying to piece together what happened before we all started eating rats. It's not going to get that bad. It's not going to get that bad. It really isn't. Oh, get me the expert. But I don't. Anyway, I would see it happen though in nightclubs. As early as last week, it happens at about 1 o'clock in the morning. It's when the blood and the alcohol mixture gets just about right. And that affects the senses and the eyes adjust. And you can actually see the orange women. They've been there all night. They must go shopping. They must live their lives. But you only see them in nightclubs at night when you're that drunk. When the booze has affected the screens of perception and opened them up wide enough that you can take in this vibration of the orange women round the bar. Here come the girls. And they're all just sort of gaggles of them. And then at 1 o'clock in the morning, one of them's going to peel away from the bar because she's proper drunk. She'll peel away and she'll make her way to the dance floor, which thank God is sticky with beer because that is the only thing holding her upright. As she starts the mating dance of the club to let the men of the room know she's in season. Sending out her signals into the room. Here come the girls. Not for me. She's not broadcasting for me. She's not after a poetry man. She's not doing a Facebook live stream for my enjoyment. No. She's going for the alpha male at the bar. She's going for Gary. Everyone else is dressed Guildford 2020, not Gary. He's dressed Ibiza 97, because that was the year that Gary was at his best. The year of the good pills. Wearing the tight t-shirt, the too tight t-shirt, to display the tribal tattoos on the arm, to let the whole town know he is part of a tribe. The black geometric pattern tribe. Gaze at this pattern, let your eyes defocus, an arsehole emerges. Gary, his son's name from a previous relationship is tattooed here. In Sanskrit, because he has travelled. Gary knows the world, my friends. Gary has seen the sunrise over Alicante. Gary turns and sees her there. His orange dreamboat is gyrating in her world of clubland want. And he recognises that she is for him. He is receiving her signal. He puts down his drink, makes his excuses to his companions, and approaches her across the dance floor. From behind. It must be from behind. You don't want to spook a horse. As Gary manoeuvres his way through the room, doing the mating dance of the club, which I stress in advance I can't do, but I will do an impression of it for you now. All right? And then you can take this knowledge into the brave new world that rises from these ruins. It's coming back. It is coming back. So, across the dance floor, it's a pelvic motion. Come to Gary. It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rivals. The theme from Rocky III there. The finest of all the Rockies. It's not playing in the room. It is playing in Gary's head. It's always playing in Gary's head. Whatever he's doing, queuing up at Tesco's for his toilet roll, in his skull. The eye of the tiger. A hero in his own mind, coming on in, the pelvic motions causing his belly to vibrate, much as it's causing mine to do right now. She doesn't see him coming, how can she? Her back is turned, but she feels that disturbance in the force, and she starts to dance backwards into him. Her little bum is seeking him out, like a kitten trying to find a scratch post. Come to Gary. And now their hips are moving together. It's the docking scene from Interstellar, as they start to move as one, because it's the bad boys always catching my eye. She's in front, the bad boys grinding on him, always twerking on him. Even that still hasn't seen him. This could be anybody back here. This could be a relative. She cares not a jot. She's in the zone. Even though he pauses in his seduction to turn to his mates and do this move. The mates at the bar egging him on. Gary, legend, legend. When I was a boy, Robin Hood was a legend. Dick Turpin was a legend. Right? The Loch Ness Monster will always be a legend. Pretty soon we'll be legends by the sound of things. But this was all it needed. This is all it's needed. A clumsy pull on a Friday night. The story passed on from father to son, immortalised in song. Hark to the tale of Gary and a Friday on the piss. Legend. Not going to happen for a while though, is it? Hey, all shut down. Got to do it in your house. Do it for yourself. Get your housemates together. Recreate the club experience. Stick on the radio. Get your missus to paint herself orange. Imagine how it used to be back in the day. Get the kids off to bed. It's going to be interesting in our house. I thank the sweet Lord Jesus that I'm in lockdown with a hairdresser. That's all I'm saying. My housemate is a hairdresser, so my live streams, I'll keep looking grim. Everyone else is going to come out with the beards and the mad hair afterwards. I'm going to walk out looking like a Peaky Blinder, mate. Don't you worry about that. I'm going to be fine. What else can I tell you? What other tales from the old Buckles archive? Very tricky doing this without banter, especially for an improv man like me. I do a lot of, oh God, you don't want to watch me talk about how good it normally is. Oh, you should see this when you lot aren't here. I'm amazing in the bathroom. I'm actually quite used to this. I do shows in the shower just for myself. And also, you open the fridge door, mate, I'm there. Happiness, happiness, singing away. Imagine how stir crazy he'd be going right now if he was still alive. Let me tell you a tale of love, my friends. I'll do this for you. Oh, these are weird circumstances. They really are. Tune on the internet during the apocalypse and hear Danny Buckler tell you some stories of lost love. Here's one. I've got a mountain of these, but here's one in particular that goes down well with the thing, with the kids. I was once very much in love to a beautiful woman. Oh my God, she was everything you could possibly want in a girl. She was the right height, long black hair, looked like Wonder Woman, age appropriate. But I made a massive mistake, a huge error in judgment. Ask me what happened via the internet.
What happened?
I'll tell you. I took her to see a musical, Charlotte. Which one did I take her to see?
The Phantom of the Opera.
Yes, I did. The Phantom of the Opera. If you've not seen it, right, it's obviously off for now, but when the dust clears, it will come back on. But even then, don't go, it's shit. Right? The reason I went to see it was the story of the Phantom of the Opera is basically Beauty and the Beast for grown-ups, and that was my favourite kids' story when I was a child. I even cry now when watching Disney's version on DVD. And if you're not crying with me, you people are made of stone, because that film is heartbreaking. When that bit when they're dancing to that singing teapot. Tale as old as time, true as it can be, barely even friends, then somebody bends. Bestiality. Anyway, I'm sorry, that was awful, but it's for how much of your act you work out. This is really funny in a club, but when you do it into a cold, bare, empty room, it sounds quite harsh. So, Phantom of the Opera is the same story. A monster falls in love. His love is unrequited. A beautiful book, a Bobbins musical, but it's got one moment of genuine magic in it. The end. And I'm going to recreate for you tonight that moment here live on the internets. Take total theatre this is. Complete entertainment package you're getting on the Facebook for free. Think Burkoff. This is where the theatrical training comes in as Buckler fills the empty black box with ambience. But if there's no audience, Is there an ambience? Where does the ambience happen? Does it exist? If a tree falls and no one hears it, does it make a sound? If a comedian speaks and no one laughs, was he ever really there? The place is Paris. The year is 1865. And we find ourselves, my friends, in the lair of the Phantom of the Opera, beneath the opera house, where he has kidnapped he's kidnapped Christine, the girl he loves, the woman he taught to sing. He's just realised she will never love him for who he truly is. He is the mind of a genius, the soul of an artist, but she will never see beyond the grotesque horror of his monstrous, disfigured face. That, and he has killed a few of her friends, that would put the honeys off, the murder. Anyway, basically, Joseph Bouquet looked at him funny, so he's garroted Joseph and he's hanging him up his body as a warning to others. And then there was a poor casting decision in the opera house, so he's burnt the opera down, killed about 40 people there. And he's got her current boyfriend trussed up. He's been garroting him as well for about 45 minutes. What he's done is be a little bit clingy. But he realises now the twist lies not in his face, but in his soul. And so he decides to let her go, to be with the aforementioned blonde-haired, blue-eyed lover, Raoul de Chagny, who's probably a roofer from Hazelmere. Don't ask why that stings, it just does. Let them go. Even in this time of coming together and kindness to all, that I don't forgive. And he lets them leave, singing a final reprise of his anthem, The Music of the Night. You alone could make my song take flight. It's over now, my music of the night. I'm not deaf. I am well aware right now. People are sat in front of their computers on their phones going, I heard that with my eyes. Just listen, forget the quality, but respect the length. There's no trickery going on here, mate. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, these are candles that I'm miming for you, by the way, with me hand. The Phantom's not going like this. That would be a bloody awful ending. Can you imagine? Thanks for coming. Have a safe journey home. This is not Butlins. They go. He collapses into his throne. He is a broken man. She comes back, plants a kiss on the good cheek. In my opinion, little salt in the wound, but there we are. He looks up to her through his tears. Nah. He raises his cloak. Nah. Covers his head. Nah. She reaches out. Nah. Pulls the cloak away. Now listen, this chair, right, he disappears. Because this chair is not really a chair, right? This chair is a magic trick built into the set. And check your showbiz history. Because Paul Daniels, this has gone off, has it? Gone black where I'm looking. Is this happening? I'll keep going. Paul Daniels built this thing for them when the show first opened. I mean, it's a graceful moment. It's not like, ho-ho, by jingle. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. And all that's left of the Phantom of the Opera is his mask and a single red rose. Curtain. Quick pause. Is it still broadcasting? It is beautiful. I want to keep going. My screen just went blank and it freaked me right out. Right at the point where the Phantom of the Opera disappeared. And I was wondering if I'd done that myself with my God mind. Now, that's how it ends every night of the week. Not the night I saw it. Not Valentine's night 2009 it bloody didn't, did it? No, I'm with the aforementioned girlfriend. It was going fairly well, but I had to do something to get her, it was that horrible bit when you're in a relationship and it's new and You're seeing someone, not your girlfriend, you're just seeing them. You know, in my case, normally through the kitchen window when they're not looking. So we're in that sort of space. And I thought I'd take it to see this bloody thing in the West End, to sort of, you know, really win her right over, Valentine's Street. We got there. It got to the end of the show. He does the big note. Night, dun, dun. The candles are rising up, they're lighting themselves. He gets in the throne, she comes back to kiss. It's pure emotion. He looks up at her. He raised the cloak. No. Covered his head. No. She reached out. No. Pulled the cloak away. No. He was still sat there, doing that sort of weird, I'm going to sit really still and that way no one's going to notice this. Right, we all clearly have. He's lit up like a Christmas tree, made up like the Elephant Man. She panics, kicks the chair. There's a clanking sound as the trapdoor goes. He flips back like this. Fuck! Now, not under his breath either. It was a proper from here. Fuck! Like 2 minutes ago he was singing, that's all I ask of you. Now he's going, fuck! She dives after him, gets caught up in the workings, pitches upside down, flashed her knickers. There's a nice touch, you don't get in Les Miserables. Come flying, can you imagine? One day more of it. Comes flying up, the mask in her hand. There's a pack on the theatre just sat there, presumably like yourselves watching this at home. What is this? What's happening? Do we applaud? Now? Is that the end? I haven't read the book. Have you read the book? Is that how it ends in the book? He yells, fuck, does a backflip down a trapdoor, and that's the end of the... We applaud now, right? This is when it was awful. Coach piped the back from Scunthorpe. Music of the shite! Come on, Martha! She dumped me soon after that, my friends. What else can I tell you? How long has this been? Oh, it's been... there's any time, innit? 5 more minutes? 5 more minutes of Buckles? What say you?
Yay!
Enjoying this spirit of the Blitz broadcast. Live from Comedy Central. Here we are. Anyone commenting? Anyone chipping in?
Loads of people.
What are they saying? Fire it at me, Nick Wishnar. Nick Wishnar, producers over there of this live stream. Anything I can bounce off of? Give it up, mate.
It's like when you're trying to drink wine and eat a curry.
It's over. The plagues attack showbiz directly. Feels like it. Oh, watching the old broadcast. He's coming out with all the Boris with all the measures and the things. It's brilliant. He's actually doing quite well. I think he's doing the best he can. But I want him to come out and say, oh, by showman, you're going to be fine. We'll keep you stocked up in grease paint. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, someone said, do you do requests?
Do I do requests?
Yeah.
I do requests. What's your request? It's a request. Someone's requesting material. Oh, I've got fans. This is what I'm hoping for, you see. I was made a joke earlier about, like, you know, I use The Secret. I want to get a Netflix special. I'm going to use The Secret and imagine myself in a studio with a Netflix special. I imagined too hard. I apologise if this is the result of that. My magic being so powerful that the forces of nature went, the only way you're getting a live broadcast, mate, is this. Boom! I'm sorry. What was the request? Stop.
Someone, question mark?
Someone? Are they female?
It's a male who's requested it.
Oh, what's he requesting?
Ricky.
Ricky? Who's Ricky?
Ricky Powell.
Ricky Powell making requests.
Oh,
Ricky Powell.
Always causing trouble.
Oh, Ricky Powell's part of Gag House Comedy. Which part, I'm not quite sure. But he is part. Basically, Charlotte's the heart, Nick's the brains. Ricky, work it out yourself. Now, what?
He wants a magic trick. He wants a magic
A magic, we'll close with a magic trick is what we'll do.
Oh, yes.
Should we try and do an interactive one?
Yeah. Nick.
With the people at home? Or should I just do one as I'm standing here? Have I got a magic trick on me that I could do? Oh, it's over there in my bag. No, wait, I have, yes!
Woo.
Let's conclude with a bit of magic, my friends, a bit of the old showbiz variety as part of this experiment in the unknown.
Can't see it.
That's what it is. I've got playing cards, but no, I'm all right. I'm going to do a visual one that everyone can get engaged with. In fact, should I do a card one? I'll do this. Nothing in my hands, my friends. Look at that! That's not the trick. Hey! I forgot I had this on me. Oh, this is my lucky rope. I'll explain a couple of things. Right, obviously these are unusual circumstances. For a start, what I can't work out is why in an empty pub I've got a microphone, right? Which is, the reason I've got a microphone is the sound for the feed is coming through this. But like, it does feel slightly ridiculous in an empty room that I've still got to wield the comedy equivalent of Thor's hammer. But there you go, I've got a microphone and I've got my bit of rope. Now I would get somebody from the audience to examine this piece of rope and make sure it's free from artifice. And there is no audience apart from Charlotte. Ladies and gentlemen, from Giggle Gag House, Charlotte, everybody. Yay! She's behind this mad idea.
Okay.
Is it a real piece of rope? On your honour, as a Gag House Comedy Club employee. And an ex-dancer, ladies and gentlemen. Styling it out right there. Oh, in fact, a current dancer.
No. Yes, it is. It's good.
Thank you, Charlotte. Charlotte, everybody. The lovely Charlotte. If I ever get a legitimate live Netflix special or thing of that nature, please, universe, when life comes back online, Charlotte will be my Debbie McGee. Yeah. In a plutonic sense, by the way. Let me get that out there as well. As I'm broadcasting to the nation, why not? Ladies, when it's all over, this will be gone. This is my other pledge. This is going, right? By the end of the lockdown, I'm getting this off, the old belly fat. Gone. I'll be shredded. Next time you come and see me properly live, I'll be cut. Charlotte, I need 2 bits of rope the same size. This is the contrivance of magic, by the way. Magic's a very contrived art. Like, if I could do magic, I'd snap my fingers and fix everything, you know what I mean? Or at the very least, I'd disappear to another dimension and come back when it was all over. And I might be doing that anyway. But this is like theatre magic. So there's contrivance. For a start, why have I got a piece of rope? I do carry with me all the time anyway, because sometimes I just get these headaches and I get angry. I just have to clean the streets. Charlotte, yeah. I need 2 bits of rope the same size, which begs the question, why didn't I bring 2 in the first place? You see straight away how contrived this is. Charlotte, say stop when my finger hits the centre of the rope.
Oh,
the centre, Charlotte, hear me now.
Sorry. Stop.
Nicely timed belch as well. Thank you, Charlotte. Right. Let me cut the rope exactly where you stop. There's a hole in the lining of my jacket. This jacket I'm wearing, by the way, I don't know if this is even worth mentioning. But I'll tell you about the jacket at the end. That'll be my last little thing. My little signing off bit. 2 pieces of rope. Can you see that, ladies and gentlemen? The same size. Charlotte has been unbelievably accurate, in fact. I don't know if you can see that. She really has kind of... actually, no, they are slightly out. They are slightly out. Let me start this one again because I'm getting confused in myself. Let's all go back in time 10 seconds. There are no camera tricks in what you're about to see. Hoopah, the rope becomes one, ladies and gentlemen. There's no camera tricks. No edits. Live broadcasting. You see, I have got powers. I'm often asked what I do when I'm doing my magic tricks in places where scissors and sharp objects aren't allowed, like airlines or bouncy castles or the home where I spent 7 years after my dad disappeared. Now the answer, oh, that's not a joke, he's alive. He's alive. He'll survive this, mate. That man's made of bloody iron. Observe, the rope is tied into a loop, a continuous loop to represent the universe in which we find ourselves. The hand forming a blade to represent a hand. Watch closely. Connoisseurs of Tai Chi Chuan will recognise the Shanyi style of the Shewan province. Others will recognise a cry for help. Watch. Cutting the rope in twain. Hold your applause. Seriously, I know you're all... I know you're all sitting at home staring at your screens thinking, well, I've seen David Blaine do that card through the door with the glass. This is trumping that all the way. The bits of rope are still different sizes, ladies and gentlemen. Watch as they become the same size. There's a long bit and a short bit, but look. Space and time are my playthings. See, one growing long, one becoming short. Look at that. Woo! There you go. When I do this routine with an audience, I then feign consternation at the lack of response. And this launches me into a whole new milieu of improvisation. Obviously, there's no response tonight because there's no one here. So I can't do that. But for one final time, watch the 2 bits of rope become one. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Fusing the atoms. There you go. Making the rope whole once more. I've got no idea how this is playing in the houses of the people watching. I hope they're enjoying it. We're getting nice comments, right?
Yeah. But how?
The ends of the rope go in my pocket, my friends. The middle stays in my hand. Watch. Ends in the pocket. The middle in the hand. Watch as he builds the tension. Like a high wire walker. Watch. The end's in the pocket. The middle's in the hand. Don't blink, except for that end. Jumping out to join that end, changing places with the middle, ladies and gentlemen. The cut and restored rope. I thank you very much indeed. And that's the story of me. That's been about 35 minutes, has it not? Yeah, close on. I'll leave you with this very quickly. This isn't part of my thing. These are weird times. I'm actually wearing tonight, this jacket that I'm wearing tonight was my first ever gig jacket. I bought this 20-something years ago, 22 years ago, with my first ever gig money. And this was my first gig jacket. When I was driving around up and down the road doing open spots, this was my jacket that I wore. And I've not worn it for about 15 years. And I put it back on tonight for this, because obviously this is a first for me. Never done this before, and probably never will again. But that's why I'm wearing this. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm on Instagram at The Danny Buckler Show, if you want to follow that, if you aren't already. That's the end of this live Facebook gig. I hope you enjoyed it. And let's keep... We're going to get through it, everybody. We really are, I swear. Take care, everyone. Good night.